Hey everyone, this is Eric from howtoprogramcode.com, and today I just want to show you something I built in a really simple sort of boilerplate for Electron. Electron was built initially, it was developed for GitHub's Atom editor, which I use as my primary IDE. And it's also built quite a few applications that you're probably used to or you're using now. I mean, Slack, just the list goes on. I'm just going to kind of scroll through this list of all the different programs and applications that have been built. So as you can see, it's super useful. You can see the adoption level here of people and companies that have adopted this technology. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. Plus, there's tons of things that of course, are not even mentioned here that are out in the wild. So, but basically, what Electron allows you to do is build cross-platform desktop apps with JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. And that's super powerful because you can take the skills that you have and have acquired through web development and apply those same principles to Electron. So I just want to kind of walk you through what I've built and kind of show you how to get started from basically the install and the startup, the development, and then the build. So we're actually going to build some binaries. And so you can, and then I'll show you how to use those on my system, it's a Mac, so I'll show you how to use those. All right, so first things first, you can go, just to follow along in this example, follow along at github.com/EricTheRobot/hello Electron. And I'll put this link into the description for you. So basically what I've created is Hello Electron. It's a simple hello world example of Electron. So it's very bare bones. This is what the application will look like once we get it running. It's pretty simple. It's a screen. It's an actual Electron window, native to iOS. If you're on a Windows, this will look differently. Of course, if you're on Linux, this will look different. So yeah, you can learn more about, I've replaced NPM with Yarn. And so I'm going to be using Yarn in this example. You don't have to. If you didn't install Yarn globally yet, I could leave instructions on how to do so. You could also read this link right here on what Yarn is. Otherwise, you could just replace Yarn with NPM and everything should work fine. It's backwards compatible, so everything should work. So let's get started. The first thing we can do is we can clone or download. We can open in the GitHub desktop. If you have it installed, just click this button, or you could download the zip. I'm gonna go ahead and do the git clone through my terminal. So I'm gonna copy this URL here. I'm gonna open up my terminal, and I'm gonna go into my sites directory. That's where I'm gonna put things. I'm gonna git clone. So we write git clone. Let me blow this up for you guys so you guys can see it. Git clone, and let me just bring this over to the left. There we go. Close that out. All right, so git clone, paste the URL in, and you can name it something. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it hello Electron. So just hit enter. Okay. And then once that's finished, just cd into the directory. So hello Electron. Now here's where Yarn comes in. Let me just scroll down here so you can follow along. We basically just want to type in Yarn, and that's going to grab all the packages. There's already a Yarn lock file, so most likely this will be really quick. I haven't tested this yet from a fresh install, so let's see. It's going to type in Yarn, and actually it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, so that makes sense. But it's basically doing the same thing that NPM was doing. This is just, it caches it there. It's so much quicker actually, because when I was doing this with NPM, it would probably take about 3 minutes because there's so many dependencies for Electron. The actual structure of the this Hello World example is really light, but but NPM, the packages, the NPM, the node modules folder is quite large. All right, so let's take a look at our structure of what's been installed. So the node modules, let me just show you actually. So let's just do ls node modules and show you there's tons of stuff in there. So that yarn just sped things up completely, ridiculously fast. So I highly recommend you taking a look at that and switching over to it. So, which is painfully easy rather, not painful, painfully easy. All right, so let's clear this out and go ahead and launch our app. So to do that, we can do yarn run start, and this should just go ahead and launch the app for us. And it did. So here we go. This is actually, I can drag this around. I can blow up the window, full screen. Okay. Now you might notice there's the icon down here in the tray, the system tray, isn't actually, or in the desktop icon, isn't actually branded. It's still the Electron icon. That's because we're in the pre-built. I believe it's because we're in the pre-built mode. Once we build it, you'll see, and I'll show you that, it's going to actually bring in all the assets, which you can change for your own branding identity. And same with this menu up here. So this isn't changed yet because we're still in the dev mode. So yeah, so let's open this up let me show you one other thing. So just to show you the plain JavaScript's working, I just created a really simple, in vanilla JavaScript, a function that basically just toggles two colors, a background color on the body. So you can see there, it works. Let's blow that up again. So it works just fine. Exit out of here. Okay, so let's cancel out our console and open this up in Atom. By the way, Atom is built using Electron. So there you go. I mean, basically is kind of a use case that shows that you can build incredibly powerful applications with Electron. So all right, so the basic structure is simple. You have a main.js file, which imports all of the Electron library and functionality, sets up a window, the size of the window, the dimensions, this creates the icon that we'll see in the build actually. And that's pretty much it. Then, let's see, then you have an index.html file. You're going to be familiar with simple HTML, of course. Nothing really crazy here. This is actually importing, requiring an actual menu from Electron's library. And let me just show you what that does actually. So we just do yarn run start. And so if I right click, you get a menu. So you can right click in this now, and if I click it, I get a little dialog saying it was clicked. Okay, pretty simple there. Let's close that out again. And I should actually keep that running and just show you that if you switch color, I don't have hot reload in here right now, but I'll probably add it. And then we have an assets folder. So let's just show you the styles. Let's just change the background color to black, let's just say, right? So refresh this. You can just hit Command R for refreshing inside once you're focused in the app. And there you go. So the background now is black. Pretty simple. So of course, if you're familiar with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, this will be amazing for you to build stuff in. All right, let's close out the app. Let's close that out. So you need the main, the index, and an app, and a CSS file. And that's all the minimum requirements to get you up and running with Electron. All right, so let's package up the app and build the binaries for distribution. So the beauty of this too is you must remember that when you're building these applications, this is going to render in Linux, in Mac OS, and Windows, all with one command. So this is really incredible. To do this, we just do yarn run build, and if I open up the package.json file, I just actually put in the Electron Packager, which is part of the, it's in the dev dependencies. And so what's going to happen here is it's going to reference this package called Electron Packager. It's going to grab the source here, and then it's going to title the app, and then it's going to place all of those distribution files, the binaries, in a dist folder. I forget what this flag does. I have to look that up. This builds for all platforms. This sets the icon. The icon's here. And then I'm overriding forcing in case there's any other builds in here. So we can always have the latest build. So all you have to do is just run the build script, and this kicks out your application for you in a binary form, which you're going to see how cool this is. I'm going to actually drag this over once it's completed. It takes a little time. And it's building for all these different packages, so 32-bit and 64-bit for all platforms, 3 platforms. It's also packaging up, which I haven't configured yet, but you'll see an error in here. It's going to package it up for the App Store, for the Mac or the Apple App Store, so you can distribute it through the App Store. I didn't connect it to any licensing or anything like that, so we're going to see some, there we go, there's the issue. So it's not signed. Says, warning, signing is required for the Mac Apple Store builds. I'm assuming that's Mac Apple Store mass builds. Excuse me. But yeah, so you can see how incredibly powerful this is, and I first started out with Electron about a year and a half, maybe a year ago, when I found out about Atom. Probably longer than that. I have a blog post on it. And I started out with just wrapping sites in it, and sites I constantly frequent, and would go to those sites, and basically I would wrap those sites in it, and I would create a desktop icon. Really cool. All right, so the build is complete. It was done in 128 seconds, or 128 seconds, 50 milliseconds. And so let's open up our directory in there. Let's go to sites. That's where it is. Hello Electron. Let's blow this up here. And let's look in the distribution folder. There it is. So here's all of the builds. So since I'm on a Mac OS, I'm going to use Darwin. That's the real name. And as you can see, it printed the app. So now first of all, if I double click here, it's going to open the app. Okay, now you see the actual branding there. But we didn't install it on our Mac and our applications yet. So you can just hold Option to make a duplicate and drag it over into my applications folder. I already have one installed, so let's just replace it. Okay, so as you see, this is really common on how to distribute your app. You have done this process before if you're on a Mac, most likely. So I'll close this window out. I'm going to go ahead and open this is Alfred, by the way. I'm going to open Alfred, and now I'm going to type in Hello Electron. And as you can see, it's an Applications Hello Electron app. I click on it. Boom. There's my app. This is running now. So let me just close all these out. And let's so you can see the app in here is not running. I'm actually going to close out the terminal. Close out that. And we're going to go ahead and distribute this. I already have one here, so I'm going to go ahead and I won't do this in this video, but basically what you could do then is just tag a release, and you can add your actual binary files here in GitHub. So people just download these and whatnot. So anyways, I'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and just open up our app now since we have it, just to show you that no terminal, no atoms running, nothing's running. Let's open this up. And there you go. So everything's working. Now the other thing you're going to notice is up here in the menu, now it says Hello Electron. I didn't include the menu up here, but you can go ahead and build menu items in here. You can also build them in here. If you right click, command click, control click. So there you go, guys. I hope this was insightful, useful, and hopefully it will be inspiring for you to create your own Electron apps. Again, I encourage you to go ahead and clone this repository and share it and contribute and give me some pointers. I don't know what I'm going to build with this yet, but this is a good starting point, and I'll do a little bit more development on this repo, and maybe I'll be inspired and build something amazing. But yeah, so again, this is what you can build with Electron. There's endless possibilities with this one. So cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Once again, I am Eric from howtoprogramcode.com. I'll probably follow up with a blog post here on Electron once I feel like I'm at a good point, and I'll probably include this video. I'll also include as many resources as I can in the description. Thanks again for watching.